Welcome to Thailand Chit Chat. Today we're going to be discussing income, how to bring money into Thailand and the tax implications of that. I'm trying to basically provide some information on the site which practically impacts foreigners, but also in many cases Thais, and provide some practical information. So we'll be discussing three elements. One is how to bring savings into Thailand, how to bring pensions into Thailand, and inheritance, primarily for foreigners, but the laws for foreigners are the same as for Thai. But focusing on the fact that maybe some of the estate or all of the estate is from overseas. So to do that, I felt that most important is to have people discuss this and explain this from the Thai tax perspective by a Thai, who can actually read the statute, the law, and what's been published in the Royal Gazette, and can actually understand what these directives actually mean from the Revenue Department. So today I have Khun Narit. So just to give you a briefing on Khun Narit. Khun Narit is the managing partner of Narit and Associates. They provide corporate legal services from dispute resolution to mergers and acquisitions, from commercial contracts, real estate transactions, and of what we're talking about today is tax planning. So Khun Narit is, in my opinion, a professional. He knows what he's talking about, and evidence of that is that he's written 2 books, which I have purchased, which I think are very good. So one is this book. It's all about tax planning and tax. It relates to corporate tax, but also for individual tax. And the other is doing business in Thailand and the legal aspects of that. I've added a link in the description if you're interested in buying them. They're available at Asia Books, but I've given some information in the description if you're interested. But what I liked about them is they're a bit like 101. I mean, you're talking about clear, concise information, not this tiny legalized language which nobody understands except lawyers. Okay, so very, very good. So I'd like to introduce Khun Narit. Khun Narit, thank you very much for coming today. Me. So, okay, so we'll go straight into it. So just now we'll just talk about the savings, people with savings from overseas. So will all foreigners staying over 180 days need to receive a tax ID?
If the foreigner who stay in Thailand in any calendar year for 180 days and they have potentially have the income that need to report and pay the tax, they need to get the ID. If they don't have, they don't need to get the ID.
Okay, so someone who is basically, it's carte blanche, it's clear. So anyone 180 days or over,
Yep.
Right, has to get a tax ID, if they're, they are bringing money in, because that's really it. And also, if you're an employee, you'll have a tax ID anyway.
That's automatic,
Yeah, so that's all part of it, and you'll get your assessment for tax. So that includes retirees and people who are not working here. If they're bringing pensions in, so a state pension, for, let's say my situation is UK, if I have a UK pension, I bring that in. Then if I have other private pensions and I bring that in, that is all taxable if over 180 days.
Yes, under the Thai Revenue Code, that is all taxable. However, for some pension, like even for the UK, if you receive it from some state enterprise and you basically work for the government, there's some exception that provide in the double taxation agreement, or we call tax treaty, that Thailand signed with the UK. So different jurisdiction, they have some different things like social security from the US, they also exempt. So it depends on the circumstance, but under Thai tax law, everything is taxable, but may be exempt by the tax treaty that Thailand signed, which is jurisdiction.
So you have to check your tax. Well, as far as the UK on that side, we're taxed here. Yep. So if you're already taxed back in the UK, you can offset that tax against here. But other than that, you're taxed here. Okay. So when you calculate the 180 days, Is it from the point of arriving in Thailand, or
Yes.
is it related to the tax year? Yeah, that you're.
It counting every day you are in Thailand from the point of your arrival in that calendar year. The waiting based on the calendar year. That they will check your passport. You can check your passport when you come in and when you leave it. And as I mentioned, that a fraction of a day, likely, like you come in at 11 before midnight, likely they will treat it as a
day.
round up one day. Yeah. Or
Right,
when you
okay.
leave in the very early morning, they probably round up as well. You leave like 6 o'clock, they probably round up on a fraction of the. But again, there's no clear interpretation from the Revenue Department, but we kind of suspect that they will round up.
Because there have been a lot of comments on this, the taxation situation, saying yes, this was an announcement, this is a directive, this focusing on this day, 1st of January 2024. Yeah,
Yeah, that's correct.
That this is a directive, but it hasn't been passed in law in the Royal Gazette. Yeah, so people are not sure what is law and what is not law. Is a directive law?
Previously, it's not the law. It's just the chain of interpretation, chain of precedence. Basically, in the past, the Revenue Department construed that if you don't bring in the same calendar year, offshore income, you don't have to pay. But now they change the interpretation, so it's not chain of law or any change in terms of the legislation or statute, but it's just the tax authority here, they change how they interpret the law.
Right, because there was also talk, and this is what we're trying to sort out, the talk from the fact, yeah, that if you had savings, yeah, prior to January 2024, yeah, January 1st, 2024, that number, yeah, on the 31st of December 2023, yeah, you could bring that money into Thailand.
That's correct. If you stay in Thailand before that year, and any year that you stay in Thailand and you have some offshore income before that period, that basically they still use the old interpretations that if you don't bring in the same calendar year, you are not taxed. But after January 24th, if you bring anything in and you live in Thailand 180 days in that calendar year, then you will be taxed. So anything before that.
So basically, I've got a bank of money. So if I had £100,000
Yep.
on the 31st, and I could show that on my in a bank statement, I can
Yep.
say, well, I can bring that money in.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep.
Okay. So I had to be reasonably rich before that to be able to bring it in and not pay tax.
But
yeah?
you need to keep the record that basically your bank statement or something. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now there was another discussion about the law that if you were earning in the same year, you could bring that money into Thailand tax-free within that year or the following year. Yeah.
That one hasn't been enacted yet. The current finance minister and deputy prime minister mentioned that they will grant this exemption that he conclusively, strongly, they said they will grant an exemption because he thinks he wants people to bring the money into Thailand. So if you earn in anything overseas in the first calendar year, in the second calendar year, if you bring in, they will exempt it. They plan to introduce these exemptions, but so far I think the cabinet hasn't passed any resolution to approve this ministerial regulation draft yet, so it hasn't come out. But I think if the government stay long enough, maybe they can pass this thing. But at this point, it has not been passed yet.
Okay, so just now, I mean, I'm guessing a lot of people. I mean, I'm here. I earn an income. I pay tax.
Yep.
Yeah, no issue there. But for others who are on pensions or in retirement, they probably turn around saying, "Well, number one, I don't know whether I need a tax ID. Yeah, and we don't know whether it's clear. Number two, there's so many things, question marks, and who interprets what. We get different information from maybe a Chiang Mai, maybe a Pattaya,
Yep.
maybe a Phuket from different revenue departments. So nobody really knows, yeah. So I won't declare anything. So are they taking a big risk doing that?
Yeah. So basically, if they get caught, and basically they can go back, like make the assessments for the previous year up to like 10 years. If they make a filing, the return, then they can go back only 5 years. So basically, if they get caught, if they don't get caught, then they get away with it. Yeah.
Yep. So basically, you're still liable if you don't do it for up to 10 years?
If you don't file any return at all. Yep. But if you file the return, the period will reduce to 5 years because there will be limitation on how long backward retroactively the assessment officer can make the tax assessment.
Okay, so there'll be some people watching who are saying, well, I might move back to the UK when I get to 65, 70, and that's it. But in the past, in all the years years ago, you used to have to get a tax clearance certificate before you left.
Yes.
Is that going to be reintroduced? Because then all the people that haven't paid, they turn around and say, well, what do you live on? Let's see your bank account details. Let's see this, let's see that, before we allow you to leave,
Yeah.
Is that going to be reintroduced?
Actually, tax clearance certificate is still applicable for very limited circumstance that basically in the past, like, they were concerned that people were leaving without paying tax, so they asked everyone to get the tax clearance certificate. After country moving toward more tourism, they make a lot of exemption for many circumstances, that only few or three circumstances that people need to get the tax clearance certificate. So the tax clearance certificate still in the book of the law is still here, but they make
not
the exemptions, so people not applicable, the immigration don't check, something like that. But
okay.
But they're still there. If they want to reintroduce or they take away the exemption, they still can do. But I don't think they will do because it's difficult to manage. Yeah.
Okay, I understand that when you have a wife or a child, I don't think it applies to a brother or friend in Thailand, but you have somebody here that you can gift them money, but if you gift them money, that you should not have them just transfer that into your bank account, which means it's not income taxable,
So if you explore this option, it means that if you give up to 20 million a year in one calendar year to the lawful spouse or the children, and give to them outside Thailand, maybe they have bank account overseas, and then you give it to them, and they can bring in tax-free because this is a exempt income.
Okay, but you can't
transfer back that you mentioned.
But can you transfer into the person's Thai bank account?
If you transfer
from your overseas bank account.
From your overseas bank account, if you transfer to that person's Thai bank account, it's kind of 50-50 because they could interpret that actually you bring the money in, so you may risk being liable for income tax. But if you want to make it like black and white, like transfer to the overseas bank account.
Okay, so your wife could have a Wise account or something like that, and
or like e-wallet, that based overseas.
And then bring that in. Okay.
And actually, it's worth mentioning that actually the exemption is 20 million when you give to the maybe lawful spouse or the kid or your parents, but there's another exemption 10 million that you give. You go to social event and you give something, each person get 10 million per one calendar year. The one revenue ruling construed that if the foreign husband give up to 10 million for the Thai partner, which is not registered partner, but they live like spouse, you can call it domestic partner or common law wife, or I call non-registered spouse. They agree, the revenue department agree that will be applicable for exemption up to 10 million if that couple live as husband and wife according to the criteria set down by the anti-corruption body.
Okay, does that mean you have to transfer that lump sum, or could you transfer that money monthly, or what?
It doesn't really matter in one calendar year. As long it doesn't exceed 20 million or 10 million for the girlfriend. Live-in girlfriends.
Okay, so let's go on to pensions now, and we're probably sort of covering the same area. Pension, some people say it's a pension. It's a private pension through a pension company, or it's a government pension, and it's given to you every month from the government. So it's pretty clear where it comes from. But many people don't have, let's say, a pension. They have savings. And that is what you call their pension, their retirement pot.
That technically wouldn't call pension, that would call saving account or something like that.
Right.
Or life insurance policy.
So it has to come from a pension. The definition of a pension in Thailand is money which is supplied through an organization which deals in pensions. Correct?
Actually, the law that doesn't really tax law doesn't really define what pension is, but it is understood to be that anything that your employer pay you after you no longer work for them. It's not clearly defined. Yep.
Yeah, so that's difficult because I know a lot of people, maybe they have their state pension, yeah?
Yes.
And they get that, yeah, but other people have just got savings.
Saving, that one I wouldn't call it pension. I would call it the saving account or life insurance policy or the investment account. And if you bring the principal, then you basically you know the cut-off date, right? Beginning of 2024. That if anything they earn before that is not taxable. But by nature, financial instrument they tend to accrue some interest, accrue some benefit. So anything that is being that they derive after that cut-off period will be considered the income.
So from at the present time, from January 1st, 2024, any money, pension, saving, is all treated the same, yeah? But the reason I was asking is because I know that there's going to be quite a few people leaving. Maybe it's the people that Thailand wants to leave, yeah? But which I think is wrong, but anyway, that's an opinion. So they're wanting the people who are just living off a state pension, yeah. So
state pension, I think pretty clear that they just got the money. That everything is new, but it's a private pension that you think is a saving. It's something maybe the principal they don't have to pay. They only have to pay anything up they get additionally from the cut-off date. Yeah. Right.
So the reason I was asking is that if there's a change in law for something they actually specifically say pension, yeah, we understand what Thailand defines as being pension, which actually is not clear anyway.
It's not clear. We only have the tax treaty with like many countries that mention the pension.
Okay, so we've probably gone through most of what we've regarding savings. It's the same principles. Yeah. So we'll sort of move on from that. Yeah. Now inheritance. Now in some cases, some people will. They're getting on in their own years, but their parents are still alive, and then they pass away. Yeah, which is all sad, but it all comes to us. Yeah, and we have to consider also when we pass away. Yeah, and what happens for our kids. So it's still relevant. So if you're a foreigner, yeah, or for that matter, a Thai who has assets overseas, yeah, one little interjection. Is that all of this stuff we're talking about, anything from overseas applies to Thais as well. This is not a Farang Thai thing. Yeah, this is a Thai. And one of the problems is that Thais now are not selling their assets overseas, or they are selling it but keeping the money offshore and not bringing the money into Thailand because they're not prepared to be taxed on that. Yeah, and also how can they prove to the authorities what earnings they had overseas, etc., and the paperwork? Nothing seems to be very clear. Yeah, so this is why there's going to be some changes in law, but as you said, they haven't been passed yet. Yeah.
Yeah, but the finance minister is saying he intends to grant out offer these exemptions. So we are looking what.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the inheritance. Yeah. From what I understand, in Thailand, the point you actually are taxed is anything beyond 100 million. Like in the UK, I think it's 325 or something like that £1,000 for one person. There's a tax allowance. So the tax allowance is 100 million baht before you're taxed in Thailand. But the question really is when foreigners inherit that, because their assets and the estate is probably overseas, yeah, how does that apply to them when they want to bring that money into Thailand?
So we have to consider that there's a two tax. It's the personal income tax that we were talking about and inheritance tax. Because we have inheritance tax already. So after the government introduced inheritance tax, I think they did something like maybe 10, 12 years ago, they make the full exemptions of anything income that you receive from the inheritance will be tax-free, will be exempt from the personal income tax. So if foreigner receive any inheritance overseas, they can bring in, they don't have to worry about, and as long as they can prove that it's inheritance, they don't have to worry about paying any Thai personal income tax. In terms of the Thai inheritance tax, it depends on their status, because Thai inheritance tax only limited type of asset 4 or 5, 6 registered asset, and only applicable if you are a citizen, if you are a Thai permanent resident or the asset is located in Thailand. So if the foreigner have the estate overseas entirely and he live 180 days here, I think he can bring the inheritance in because it's clearly exempt from the Thai personal income tax, and he doesn't have to worry about the Thai inheritance tax because maybe he's not a citizen, he's not permanent resident, and the asset is not in Thailand, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so if you are a permanent resident here, okay, so someone like me who does annual visas, yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I can bring in that
No
that
problem.
money up to 100 million. But if you're you have a permanent resident card, yeah, you still come under 100 million. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Right, and if that cash, you sell your house or something like that overseas, or your parents' house or something like that, you can still bring that money in to the 100 million. Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Because
Right.
you are fully exempt from the personal income tax. No
The
question
person with
asked.
the permanent residence or
You have to
Thai
pay
nationality.
the inheritance tax, but you will get the 100 million exemption.
Right. Okay. And for people who are here year by year, the 100 million doesn't even apply to them. They
no,
can bring in.
no.
Okay. But they have to show.
They need to prove. Yeah.
So what documentation would they need to show? I mean, would you say, let's say you've got 99 million baht, yeah, and your parents have passed away, and your estate has been finalised. Let's say we'll use the UK as the example, yeah, and it's been finalised. You want to bring in 1 million baht, year one. Year two, another 1 million baht. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah? So up to that, you want to bring 1 million baht in a year, and you showed that you had 99 million.
Yep. You can keep that record.
Right?
Yep.
So you can say, okay, now I've got 98, 96,
Yep. That's correct.
97.
And you keep it on record. Yep.
Now, do I have to declare that money coming in my tax return?
No, because it's not taxable.
So I don't need to put anything in that is not taxable on my tax return.
In your personal income tax return, everything is exempt. Yeah.
Right? Do I have to show that it's exempt? So I got this 1 million baht in my bank account. Yeah.
You don't need to show anything exempt under our system. You don't.
You
have
don't
to
show in your tax. Okay. But if they investigate and they find something,
Yeah,
that's
if
gone
they
wrong,
hey, where you get this money, and then you can say, oh, this is inheritance, 99 million baht, something like that.
Okay. So what kind of document would you need to prove that this is inheritance?
I think I would keep the paper that when you resolve the estate and how much you receive, maybe the check that you receive from that estate, and then I will keep that record. Yeah.
Right. And because that's just a check, yeah. So the check is from. So should you have a letter from
yeah.
the lawyer or solicitor
Yeah.
to say that this is round up, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a letter is fine. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be a certified letter. It's just a letter from your lawyer,
I
yeah.
think yeah.
Right. And a transfer statement, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So something, just basically something to prove, yeah. Because obviously, if it's year by year, yeah, it takes a fair amount of time. So you can send parts, yeah. You don't need to show in your tax return, but it has to show it's related to the inheritance, the estate, yeah. Basically, you should keep that record for as long as you're taking money from that estate, yeah.
Yep.
And it can be from your foreign bank account, yeah. All right. Okay. So it's actually on the inheritance side, it's pretty straightforward. Is everything else everyone's worried about?
Yeah, because they already tax the inheritance tax separately already. So personal income tax for the inheritance is exempt from personal income tax clearly. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go back to the very basic. Your personal income tax, you're getting so much money. Anything above I think is 140,000 baht. Yeah. You're going to have to pay tax on. Yeah.
Yep.
Just like an employee of any company. Yeah.
Yep.
Employee, sole trader, individual, pensioner. It's still anything above that 140, and it climbs from 10 to 15. Is it 20 up to a maximum of, is it 45?
35. Yeah.
35.
35%. Yeah.
And when do you have to submit your tax return?
End of March.
End of March every year.
But typically, almost everyone, does it online. So they grant you maybe another week after end of March. If it's not working day, they count 7 days from the working day, something like that.
Should people use a tax consultant?
I think it's quite straightforward. They depends on them. They can try to learn. Yeah, I never get in with the English
It's
version.
all in Thai, yeah?
Yeah, I understand they also have, not sure you have English version or not.
Well, you'd only look at the Thai version because you can read
Yeah,
Thai.
but it's quite straightforward. It's quite straightforward. Maybe your secretary can handle or something like that. Yeah.
Right, okay. All right. Is there any other advice we should give to people on this subject?
Inheritance, right?
Or anything in general, yeah? If you're a pensioner here or you're living here more than 180 days, yeah? Should everyone be really shaking in their books and worried, yeah?
Yeah, I think if they're on pension that they receive recently, I would try to look for the particular jurisdiction that they receive from, whether, because some, as I mentioned earlier, that some of the tax treaty that Thailand signed will exempt some of the pension, some type of pension. Like, as you know, that for the U.S., Social Security is exempt from the Thai income tax because of the tax treaty that Thailand signed with the United States. Or for the U.K., I understand that if you receive state pension from the government entity, that also exempt.
It is exempt, yeah?
Yep. So, although exemption, I need to mention, is not lengthy, the limit, but need to check with your own jurisdiction treaty that they offer anything or not, because sometimes they offer outright exemptions.
Okay. For people who, like, so we're now in the end of the first year, so January 1st to, we're going into our second years. So people that have not done their tax return by March 2025 for year 2024, yeah? Are they in big trouble? Or can they catch up?
If they get catch off, if the revenue department caught them, if they get caught by the revenue department, they may be in trouble. Because there are many ways that revenue department knows. They use technology that if the income come to your account over how many times, or like, for example, if your income come to the account more than 2 million and it hits certain, it exceeds certain period in one calendar year, the bank need to report the income to the revenue department, so that they have some tools to know whether you get some income or not. Yeah.
All right. And what kind of fines? You talking about a prison sentence? You're talking about a fine?
No, just back tax and surcharge. Surcharge, I think it's basically interest, and then they may get another penalty one time of the back tax. Yeah.
But you're not going to get deported for it, no?
I'm not sure about that. Yeah, because if it's just you settle with them, I don't think they will report immigration. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Khun Narit, we've got more shows to do, but this has been a very, very interesting one, and I know it's in a lot of people's minds, yeah?
But just wait, like, whether the government will grant this exemption or not, because everybody is looking for it. If you bring in the first year, the second year, they say they're going to give. We are waiting for it. Everyone is looking for it.
But it's not going to be retroactive for the previous year.
Nobody knows. Yeah, they haven't told anything.
So we expect within this year they're going to come to it with some. But we don't know, because politics is moving all the time.
I understand. Yeah.
So hopefully they can move forward with it.
Get it through. Yeah.
Well, in another show we'll go through that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Narit.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, everybody. I hope this was useful. If you've got any comments or questions, please note them at the bottom. This is not consulting as such. If you've got your own particular situation, you can contact Khun Narit. The details are in the comments or in the description. Just let us know if there's anything else you want us to discuss. We'll be back soon. And thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Bye.